booted with Mitbot, still to no avail. Not even the young blood of Lion Ryan could assist. And now it appears that our once majestic elephant has been brutally butt-raped by the offspring of orange-haired orangutan. And here we are today, watching as Gop's penis is being ridiculed. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Who would have thought that the humble ass would be a more noble animal than the elephant? So today, we pay tribute to Gop, and as we formed a new tradition, we here at Future News request that in lieu of flowers that you, the listener, please send dildos to all the Goppers, particularly Trump, so he sees what a huge one actually looks like. And our final story today comes to us from Africa, where a fervent believer named Alec Nidwani thought Jesus came on him. I would hypothesize that it was just bird shit, but that is just a hypothesis. I guess Alec's mistake was not checking where the white muck actually came from, because his interpretation misled him into believing that Jesus' come made him invincible. So to prove the might of Jesus' come, Alec thought that this was an excellent learning opportunity for his congregation. And whilst I agree that it is indeed an excellent learning opportunity, it is not for the same reason that Alex thinks it is. So with the power of bird shit, Alec and his fellow believers approached a wild pride of lions while they munched on a recent kill. Alec then started talking in tongues and went into a trance-like state, and then promptly started running towards the lions. Had Alec relied on evidence from the real world, he would have learnt that lions like to eat yummy flesh, and apparently that is what surrounds old Alex's bones. The lions, noting that bird shit does not actually make Alec invincible, thought he would be another yummy snack for them to munch on. So they went for the fleshiest, yummiest part of Alec, his buttocks. Yum, rump steak, they said. Fortunately for Alec, a ranger with a gun fired it towards their lions to scare them off. Alec was taken to hospital, where he said that he did not know what came over him. Like I keep saying, it was bird shit, Alec. But Alec continued, I thought the Lord wanted me to show his power over the animals. Is it not we were given dominion over all creatures of the earth? Apparently we weren't, Alec. Lesson learnt. So my dear pasties, that's the Earwitness News from today, tonight, tomorrow, from the future. I'll be back in 2 weeks to see how Carson's endorsement of Trump has not actually helped Trump at all, to discuss that the GOP has been declared legally insane and that the Trump rallies are now even more racist, bigoted and insane than we could have ever imagined. I'm Son Winks, and have a great week.
You know, Sabbath, I said earlier that Joe Scarborough and the media, they are going after Trump to try to destroy him.
Yeah, they are.
And the thing that I want to inform the media of, Donald Trump has become the hero of black or African American people. We call that race of people, or this race of people, if you will, Hamite people. I want you to understand something, America and the world, that Donald Trump is indeed a hero. Unexpectedly, Donald Trump has risen and he has captured the imagination of the black people. He has.
Yeah.
And they're just so excited about him. When I talk to black people who are normally Democrats and normally Obama supporters, you can see them blinking their eyes when you compare Donald Trump to Obama. people, young black men, black women, and when you mention to put those two together, Obama and Trump, their eyes light up when you talk about Donald Trump.
Yes.
For whatever reason, Sabbath is like a miracle.
No, it is. And to take the words that Obama used during his presidential campaign,
right.
People are ready for change.
Yeah.
They don't want Obama anymore. He has failed them. They see him out to be who he really is, and they just want something different now.
Well, Sabbath, can I ask you this? Do you think that Obama's alleged first black presidency, and many thought that he would heal the race problem.
Yeah, they did.
But now Trump has come, and black people don't see Trump as a white man.
No, they're not looking at color.
They don't see him as a Democrat. They don't see him as a Republican. They see him as a man.
Right.
So is Trump the catalyst to bring about racial healing in America? You were down there with me. I'm so glad you went with me down to the Trump Tower the other day.
Yeah.
When you were sitting there with all those black preachers, black women and men sitting there all together, they don't look at him as a white man.
Yeah.
They didn't see that. So ironically or miraculously, Trump has become the hero of black people. Nigga hush.
Oh, you missed the last part.
Can I just say something real quick? Who in the fuck named their daughter Sabbath?
Oh, some uber psychopathic religious person.
I knew a girl that named her son Sinister Blaze, and that's what that reminds me of. It's like the crazy, like they sat around and they were like, "What's the craziest name that we could name a girl?" And they're like,
Angelo.
Yeah.
What's killing me about this whole thing, and forgive me for interjecting on this one. What are they seeing him as? They're not seeing him as white. They're not seeing him as black. They're not seeing him as Democrat or Republican. Bullshit. What they're seeing him as is a lightning rod for getting their faces on TV. That's it. That's what it is. There's nothing more, nothing less.
He's a big piece of shit, is what it is.
No, he's a media whore. And the worst part of it is he's good at it, media whore. That's the problem.
For sure.
All those people in that brawl tonight, well, not all of them, but a lot of them were people of color. And then everybody outside of that little circle was white as hell, wearing their cowboy hats and shit like that. Anyways, that's all I want to say about that.
It seems to me, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Pastor Manning is just living in his own world. Nothing he says makes sense, and I'm just baffled how he thinks that Trump is some kind of savior for black people. I've also noticed, too, that he refers to African Americans as Hamites. So I guess it's a biblical reference to, I guess, Genesis.
Yeah. Long time.
Yeah. Just, okay. He's just, his narrative is just so twisted and so polluted by whatever he believes that, he's not seeing the world in a plain, rational way. It's baffling.
Can we talk about Trump's micro penis and his boy hands for a little bit?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. I already had enough of it when I actually watched the goddamn debate.
Like, honestly, come on now. This is a motherfucking presidential debate that is going to decide a person that is going to be running for the leader of the free world. And the best you assholes on the Republican side can do is talk about.
With that being said, I mean, I might have an unpopular opinion about this, but I found that given Trump's rhetoric for the last few months, I know that the public consensus is that Rubio and Cruz kind of stooped to a new level, but they had to have played the same game, at least to recalibrate things. Like, they can't. Trump already destroyed Bush and made him look like a fool, got him out of the race by being a complete bully. I think Rubio had to play that game and reset things. Now the consensus is that they're going to restart and not sink to that level of game. But if Rubio didn't come with those attacks, Trump is just going to call him a boy again, or little Rubio, and be the bully. And Trump is kind of on the...
Although I absolutely agree with you that Rubio had to do that, he didn't have to do it. From the amount of monumental information and data that we have on Trump's stupid, he didn't have to go on to have at his hands, right? He could have picked any one of the 1,000 other bullshit things that Trump does.
Okay, yeah, he mentioned the hand stuff, I think, in a public speech.
Yes, he did.
You're right.
Let me ask you a question,
I'm talking about
David.
the attacks during the
Let me ask you a question real quick, David.
Dave, may I make, before you start, may I make an analogy? All right, for those of us that actually have been around the coast and you've gone out and caught crabs before.
Oh, yeah. I grew up on Long Island. I know all about that.
Shujin, okay. Whenever you grab a crab out of the bucket, what happens? Do not the rest of them grab onto that and try to hang on and be dragged out of the bucket with the rest of the crabs?
Yeah, it happens all the time. I'm assuming that I've gotten from the right side. Otherwise, I just scream like a little girl.
Exactly. So all I'm saying is that these candidates are like the crabs in the bucket. They're trying to drag each other down.
Yeah, I've got something
David,
to add to this after.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, after you get your point, because you waited, I'm going to wait for you because I got a piece to kind of... would you be giving the same leeway to just say Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump are in debate? Donald Trump's been saying rhetoric about Bernie Sanders. If Bernie Sanders went into a debate and started talking about fucking Donald Trump's hands and his dick size, would you not be saying, Bernie Sanders, talk about the points? You're wasting your time with this bullshit talking about dick size and hand size. I think you're giving leeway to a lower common denominator than you would for somebody like Bernie.
You're right. The great thing though is it's restarted the whole conversation. So obviously you've noticed the debate following that has been more tame. And if that was the result of this super, super low point, then so be it. Hopefully
would you have given the same leeway with what you're saying now if it was the Democrats or if it was the Liberal Party in Canada or the NDP Party in Canada? Would you be giving the same leeway, or would you be super fucking pissed off that they're talking about fucking dicks at a fucking election debate?
Yeah, it would. It's so hard to. I understand what your hypothesis is. It's so difficult for me to imagine the Democrats doing that. But Trump has set a whole new level.
Yeah, but we don't. Just because he has set the level doesn't mean we have to lower our standards. It doesn't mean we have to, as thinking people, have to lower our standards and think that it's okay, or that Mark Rubio should be going after him about his hands or his fucking dick size or the fact that he's a fucking orangutan. It doesn't matter. We can go after him because we as podcasts.
Not only is he setting a new level, but he's winning. Like, it's not just that he's doing this; it's like he's winning and he's gaining more and more popularity. So I don't know what else he could have done. Like, High Road wouldn't have worked. I don't think High Road would have worked.
I don't think the High Road would work, but substance always trumps boom boom.
And I think he did. I think Rubio did in the debate, calling him out on his repetition and his lack of substance and his specific
Rubio lost ground on that because the week before he was in the fucking pit of mud slinging that was childish beyond imagination. Had he have done that from a position of not having lowered himself into that level of bullshit, he could have started attacking him on his bankruptcies. He could have started attacking him on his racist affiliations, bigotry. The problem is, David, is that he doesn't actually disagree with any of the bullshit that Trump's saying, as do none of those candidates. So that's why they don't attack him on that. They actually are pissed off that Trump is saying the things that they're supposed to say behind closed doors in quiet corners.
It's interesting, yeah.
All of that 17 clown car contestant situation. Every single one of them got racist ideations. Every single one of them are not for the average working class American citizen. They are for the rich corporations. They are anti-gay marriage. They are anti-abortion. They are all about social